Hi guys! So I had tried to make this video yesterday and the audio was so bad from the cars going by that I couldn't hear anything. Well, hello Kibby. Anyway, so I wanted to make this video because yesterday was such a big day for me. It was the day that I celebrated 4 years of being a herbivore, I guess you could say. I've been vegan, I've been vegetarian, and so I wanted to make this video to help anybody who is in that direction and wanting to kind of go down that path of what is the best thing for you. This is a no judging zone. We do not judge at all because we are all human, and this world is way too harsh and mean to be judging, and that is you judging yourself, myself judging me, because it is something that I figured out a long time ago that you cannot please anybody. The only person you truly have control over pleasing is yourself. And so I kind of wanted to talk about vegan, vegetarian, and things that has helped me on my journey through both of them. People become vegan, vegetarian, and wanting to change their diet for so many reasons. A lot of it is for the animals, some of it is for the environment to help with global warming, some of it is for your health and how you are unable to eat certain things. And whatever it is that have landed you on my video, I hope that I can help you and guide you along and give you just a few things, because I know how hard it can be. What I've noticed is whenever you tell people that you are vegan, or if you tell people that you're a vegetarian, people love to put in their 2 cents. They just feel so inclined to have to talk to you about why you're vegan, how are you healthy, how are you getting your protein? Like, how do you get your protein? That is the #1 question I have always been asked. I don't know, people just assume that you cannot be getting your protein from anything else other than animals, when in reality protein is a process of, really, it's like a building blocks of like dirt, grass, it's like, you know, amino acid. And one of my best rebuttals whenever people would ask me about my diet and how do I get my protein would always be the same way that your animals that you are eating is getting their protein. Protein is dirt, it's grass. They are not born with protein. It is like the microorganisms and the amino acid and the photosynthesis, I'm gonna try to say that word again, I'm not gonna do it, of the process. And so we are not eating carnivores. We are not eating animals that are eating meat. We are eating animals that are vegetarian. And so, you know, a lot of vegetarians and vegans, we just skip that middleman and we just go for what it is and what they're eating. And, you know, even the animals that are like carnivores, like lions and tigers, you know, they get their protein from their source of food, which is the majority of the time they are eating animals that are herbivores. And so I always feel like it's such a good rebuttal to do your research and know that protein is not chicken. It is basically, chicken's just the middleman of what a chicken's eating. We are eating animals that are herbivores. And I mean, I say we, but I'm not really a part of that anymore. But the most of the time that people are eating, they're not eating animals that are carnivores. They are eating animals that are herbivores. And the animals that they are eating that are carnivores, like alligator tail and, you know, even like chicken with their insects, they are eating like plants. They are eating things that are herbivores. So I always feel like that is always such a good rebuttal for anybody who always tries to put in your 2 cents, because I promise you they will. They will talk to you about everything you could think of. They want to know what you're eating, and they will judge you. And one of the things that I also want to talk about is not only will they judge you, you will start judging yourself. So my journey with this vegetarian veganism started when I was 13 years old, and I had a friend that showed me a PETA video, and those videos are not for the faint of heart. They are very graphic, and it is so inhumane, it breaks your heart. And as soon as I saw one of those videos, I was sold, and I stopped eating meat. And I stopped eating meat in 8th grade, all through high school, and I was like 17, almost 18 whenever I started eating meat again. And one of the things that I had first started eating, I was working at McDonald's, and I ate a chicken nugget. And when I ate that chicken nugget, I woke up the next day with so much guilt and so much judgment upon myself. I felt like almost 5 years down the drain. I felt like I couldn't call myself a vegetarian anymore because I ruined it. I ate the cars. Because I ate a chicken nugget, and I felt like to be able to call myself a vegetarian, I'm not happy with all this traffic that it has given me on this Friday morning. And so I had felt like, let me see, maybe I can scooch closer. So I had felt like all that time that I spent being a vegetarian went down the drain. And it wasn't anybody else judging me, it was myself judging and me carrying so much guilt that after that, I literally just, your mind can be a good place to live in, and it also could be a bad place to live in. And I think at such a young age, I was able to easily put the things that bothered me in the back of my mind and board it up, lock it up, and not think about it. And if I can't think about it, it's not going to harm me, and I'm not going to harm myself. I am just going to be out of sight, out of mind. I am not going to give any power to it. And it's not a great reaction, but it is the only reaction that I knew how to deal with at the time, is to just get it out of your mind, out of your sight. And I did. And I didn't want to feel the way that I was feeling, because your body knows. You got to listen to your body. If you have regrets, then you know that those feelings are valid, and you know that it is something that is really important to you for your body to tell you that you regret something, and you should listen to it. You should always listen to the signs that your body is giving you, especially if you keep on wanting to linger on those thoughts, and especially if those thoughts make you feel so bad that it makes you want to lock it up in your brain and throw away the key and not think about it. And during my vegetarianism for those 4.5, 5 years, I always told myself that I couldn't be vegan. I remember telling myself, I could never be vegan. I could never do without pizza. I could never do without ranch, without mayonnaise. Without chocolate milk. I always said that there were things that I could never be. And it wasn't until I ended up going to Ohio 4 years ago, a little bit 4.5 years ago, should I say. Is that the magic number, 4.5? And my aunt had passed away, and whenever I went up to be there, it kind of brought back so many memories of the restaurants that I used to eat at, and I ended up seeing my cousin that I'm not really close to, but she was a vegetarian. I used to watch her all the time whenever I lived up there for just a couple months. And she just inspired me so much. When I saw her and saw that she was a vegetarian, it had just something about her just mesmerized me. And I just couldn't stop thinking about how I missed that and how I really wanted it back. And then I ended up over, you know, as soon as you think about it, something will happen. And I ended up watching a documentary called What the Health. And it talks a lot about, it definitely wasn't like the PETA video that I had watched. It was very informational, and it talked about the health industry and how it is about healing from the inside out instead of having to take medicine to help you heal. Like, you're able to change your diet and make you heal from the inside out. And after I watched that video, I picked a date and I went vegan. And I couldn't be I was so proud of myself. That first year that I went vegan, just like cold turkey, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna have nothing. And I went vegan for a whole first year, and it felt so good. It was like I was proving my little 13-year-old self wrong, that yes, honey, you could do anything that you want if you put your mind to it. And I just remember feeling unstoppable. I really did. And after that first year, I remember it weighing down on me a lot. I remember like missing macaroni and cheese. I remember missing pizza so much. I actually remember that in January of that year, I always go through a list of things that I regret and a list of things that meant a lot to me. And in that year, which was the year 2022, me and my family went on a cross-country road trip from Florida to Montana. And in Montana, up in the country, there was no vegan choices. I literally had to eat a pizza with just bread and sauce and onions and banana peppers, and it tasted awful. And I remember looking at my kids' cheese pizza, and I just remember being like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And strangely enough, like, that was one of the things that I regretted in New Year's. I was like, I kind of regret not eating that pizza, and I wish I would have just ate a slice of that pizza. And I had allowed other people's, I knew what it was. I allowed how, if I was to eat that pizza, I would say, oh, I'm not a vegan anymore, I'm a vegetarian. And the labels can be so damaging to yourself. It really can be so damaging. Like, I don't think people understand how damaging the labels can be. It really can be so damaging. And so I just was like, I can't believe that. And so one of the first things that I did eat was, I ate my mom's mac and cheese. My dad has chickens over at his house, so I started eating their eggs. And I really didn't see a problem with it, because I know these chickens, I know that we take very good care of them. We are not eating them. They are here literally because we love them. And so I started eating eggs, and I started eating pizza, and then I still wanted to stay mindful about the things that I eat. I don't, to this day, I don't drink milk. From vegan to vegetarian, that transition, I carried a lot of shame with me for a long time. I felt like I had let myself down, and it wasn't until I finally stopped carrying other people's expectations and what other people felt was right and wrong, that I finally let it go and started living for myself. This world is harsh enough to have to sit there and carry the weight of other people's expectations, assumptions and the labels. And I remember seeing one of my favorite quotes, and I remember it, I loved it whenever I had first seen it on like the Princess Diaries, and I haven't heard it in such a long time, and whenever I came across it again, I remember it just like finally clicked. And it is by Eleanor Roosevelt, and I know a lot of you guys probably already know what I'm gonna say, is no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I remember once I saw that quote again, it just clicked, and I realized that I was giving permission to all these people to make me feel a certain type of way. I was giving them consent to make me feel shameful, and I just let it go. I stopped carrying that shame that I held upon myself, the judgment that I judged myself, and decided that I am not going to live by these labels. I was going to live by what was right for me. And I was so happy whenever I started eating pizza and I started eating my eggs again. I felt good. I really did. My body was feeling good. I didn't notice that being vegan carried a lot of anxiety. If I was to go to my parents' house, I would always be like, Mom, where's my spatula? And I'd be like, Dad, you're not cooking it on the same grill. Like, I didn't realize how much anxiety that I had being vegan, because I was so afraid of breaking that thought. I was so afraid of the thought of consuming milk, consuming eggs, having this in my food, that I didn't realize that it caused anxiety in me. And whenever I stopped being vegan, it kind of felt like there was a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Like, I try to live life as morally as possible. Like, I do. I try to be as morally as possible with my daily habits. I always try to, and I don't always try, I do. Like, I won't use makeup that I know is tested on animals. And these days, I'm so happy to say that there are so many vegan makeups, there's so much vegan hair products that you don't really have to look hard, because there's always something that is going to be an option for you. There's one thing that I want for anyone who ever watches my video is to not put so much pressure on yourself. We are on a floating rock. We are literally living in this earth. You only have one life. Please don't take your life so serious. Of course, we always want to be a version of ourselves that we are proud of. But I just want everyone to always do their best that they can. And whenever you mess up, I think the best thing you could do is always have grace for yourself. Like, have grace, because it is okay. You eat or consume milk, it is okay. It is fine. Just to remind yourself of your goals and what you want and what is authentic to yourself and what do you want for yourself and the version of you that you want to be. And always remind yourself that it is okay to be in the middle. It is okay to not be perfect. It is, you are not less just because. And I wish I could give myself that 13-year-old hug and tell her that you are not less than because you had a chicken nugget. You feel guilty, and that guilt is good. All feelings that you feel are valid. And to this day, I make it a habit to not shove feelings back into my mind and lock it up the key, because it is come so easy for me to detach. And I know that it's not a healthy thing to detach from things. And so I need to feel the feelings that I'm feeling. They are valid, and I need to listen to it because those feelings are telling me something. The universe is here to give you those feelings, to tell you what is right and what is wrong for you, because not everybody feels the same. and eating meat compared to waking up and eating my chicken eggs, it felt completely different. It did. It felt so completely different. I felt guilty. I felt awful. I felt like what a waste of time that it was, that I had wasted so much. And when I started eating my chicken eggs, I did not feel that way. I felt good. It wasn't until I started telling people that I started to eat chicken eggs and I am eating pizza that I allowed their words to cut me deep, to be like, well, I guess you're not a vegan anymore. Well, I guess, you know, all that time that you wasted on being a vegan. And it really wasn't any waste, because I didn't realize at the time, but I was literally proving to my 13-year-old self that there is nothing that I can't do if I don't put my mind to it. And I did it, and I was so proud of myself. My first year being a vegan, and that vegan nursery that I had, I was so proud of myself. And every year on the 21st, I am always 8/21/21 is my date, and I am always so proud of myself. I am like, team herbivore. I'm like, I have been on the herbivore team for 3 years, 2 years. Yesterday was 4 years. And I feel great. I feel so good that I am living what is right for me. And if you are watching this video, I hope that you find out what is right for you and what truly aligns with yourself and what you want. Because you have to know that we are not all the same. Everyone is so different, and everybody has different goals in life, and everybody's on their own journey. And we are not going to judge. We are not going to judge ourselves. We're not going to judge. We're not going to judge ourselves. We're not going to judge other people. We are going to live our life focusing on us, focusing on what can make things easier for you, what can make things better for you, and how authentic and genuine that you can make yourself during this lifetime. You know, vulnerability is precious. To be able to say and be vulnerable with yourself and to feel the feelings that you feel and to validate them, it is a beautiful thing. There shouldn't be anything bad about having those feelings and being vulnerable and being genuine with your expectations of yourself. And there is always going to be people that are going to say that you're not good enough. When in all reality, not everybody has the same self-control as you. Not everybody has that mindset that you have. And we shouldn't judge people about how they choose to eat. You should not judge anybody, because once upon a time you were not a vegan or you were not a vegetarian, and it is an awful thing to put people down for things that you once used to do. You know, everybody's on their own journey and everybody's on their own timeline, and they will get to where they're meant to be. And not everybody's meant to follow the same path as you, and that is fine. But we're not going to judge people who are that are not down that path, because it's not up to you. You are not anybody's, you know, judge, jury, and executioner to have to sit there and tell people that they're wrong. You are only yourselves, and you can only make yourself a better version of yourself. And the biggest thing is, I just think people should just mind their own damn business, and I think you should mind your own business, you know, because we are responsible for us. But I hope this video helps somebody if you are in that journey of wanting to become a vegetarian, vegan. And if you are, go to the PETA website and they will literally for free get you a little starter kit, and it is a lot of information about things to want to work. It is definitely a lot of good information about things that you want to watch out for, just information. It is free. And pick a date and just do your best. Do what feels right for you. There's just so many things that are good for you, that is yummy, that you don't have to force yourself to buy all these different kinds of meat substitute, because in our mind we feel like we need to have meat or type of meat in your meal at night every night, because you don't. This is your life. This is your life, no one else's life. You are in control. You are the director. You set the settings, you set the rules, nobody else. And try to have grace within yourself, because people are always going to say something whenever you start to talk about your choices. And you're always going to hear so much from other people about audacity that some people have. But just try not to judge them. Try not to judge yourself. If you mess up, that is okay. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's all new goals. Do what feels the best and most authentic for your journey, because it is important to know that we are all on this earth living our own separate journey, and our own separate journey, and our own special, different life. And your life and your journey is important. It is. Your journey is very important, and you should treat yourself as so, because you are. But alright, I'm gonna get off of here. I know this is not something I usually talk about on my channel, though it is something that I've been always passionate about. But with it being yesterday, being 4 years, I just felt compelled to make this video. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys next week. That is all for now.